I took this online test earlier on this week to determine how sexist I was. And this comes courtesy of a little test you can do online from an article from the Daily Telegraph. This is from their Lifestyle, Men, Thinking Man department, whatever. And it poses the question, how sexist are you? So straight away, as a thinking man, that tells me that no matter how I fill this thing in, the odds are I'm going to be sexist nevertheless. In other words, you're all sexist men. Take the test to find out. I'll leave a link to the article in the comments section and pin it to the top. Quite a number of people took it before when I uploaded the first video. So I'm going to take it again. The first time I took it, I filled it in genuinely, honestly. I wasn't trying to be provocative or be deliberately sexist or anything like that. I was simply honest. And the conclusion of the test was that I was as bad as they come. And I'll bet you I can't win this time, because I'm going to fill it in this time in the most mangina, white knight, wimpy way that I possibly can. Anyway, let's have a little look at the preamble, a bit of the preamble before I do the test again. And the preamble's been written by Guy Kelly. According to a new study by the Ohio State University, stereotypical depictions of gender roles in film and literature can serve to reinforce misogynistic views. Well, I completely disagree with that. I'm not even looking at their study. Totally disagree with that. It is the media, whether it's women's, I'm talking about the media as a whole, women's magazines, newspapers, TV programs, daytime TV, adverts, dramas, soaps, comedies. They are crammed with anti-male stereotypes. I've been through that loads of times before, so I'm not going to bore you with that. To read that conclusion, I think he means reach, all 747 participant women participating, this is badly written, completed the ambivalent sexism inventory scale, a test in which participants rate a series of statements about gender equality by how much they would agree. So let's go through these statements and okay, number one. No matter how accomplished he is, a man is not truly complete as a person unless he has the love of a woman. Well, I disagreed strongly with that before. A man could be independent and he doesn't necessarily need the love of a woman. This time I'm going to strongly agree. He does need a woman. Men need women, but as we all know, women need a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Nevertheless, strongly agree. Many women are actually seeking special favours, such as hiring policies that favour them over men under the guise of asking for equality. Well, we all know that that's absolutely true, so you'd strongly agree with that. But despite the fact that it's completely true, I'm going to disagree strongly with what is a statement of fact. I'm not even going to go into that because we all know these hiring policies exist in terms of quotas, special advantages, women-only education courses, women-only managerial courses, or when you're presented with a man and a woman with similar or with same qualifications, you have to hire the woman regardless of the man. It's absolutely disgraceful, but nevertheless, I'm going to disagree strongly. In a disaster, women ought not necessarily be rescued before men. Well, yeah, I'd treat them as equals. The first time I said, yeah, fuck them. Let them go down with the ship. So I strongly agreed with it. But no. Women should be cherished and respected and put on a pedestal. And let's face it, children need women. And so, no, the men should go down on the ship. That's their job, even though they built the fucking thing. So disagree strongly. Most women interpret innocent remarks or acts as being sexist. I strongly agreed with that the first time, but no, men aren't treading on eggshells around women in the workplace. There isn't a charged atmosphere in the workplace anymore, and honestly, men don't bug their own offices to record conversations with women because they're terrified of being falsely accused of something. And when there's these guys at some kind of conference, one of the guys made a joke to his friend about the size of his dongle, and a woman behind laughed along with them. She definitely did not report them, get them fired, fuck their lives up, fuck their whole fucking... They had families. So, Most women interpret innocent remarks or acts as being sexist. No, I disagree strongly. Women are too easily offended. We've just done that. What is this? Variations on a theme? Disagree strongly. People are often truly happy in life without being romantically involved with a member of the other sex. I strongly agreed with that the first time round because it's obviously true. But clearly, no, men need women. And we've done, again, it's just repeating itself. So I'm going to disagree strongly because, as we all know, men must have a woman in their lives, otherwise they'll fall apart. But nevertheless, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, so disagree strongly. Feminists are not seeking for women to have more power than men. Obviously, I disagreed with that strongly the first time round. This time I'm going to strongly agree. Because there's no such thing as all women shortlists, quotas for women in politics, and no women-only managerial courses, women-only library sessions in this country, leisure centre sessions, parking spaces, Jeremy Corbyn proposing women-only train carriages, just women-only, absolutely, just we live in a completely gynocentric society. But nevertheless, no, I'm going to strongly agree with that and be a good little feminist. Many women have a quality of purity that few men possess. You see how women just want to be fucking worshipped, like the Queen of bloody Sheba, and put on a pedestal. Many women have a quality of purity that few men possess. I disagreed with that strongly, obviously now I'm going to strongly agree. Women should be cherished and protected by men. We've already done this. Again, how unoriginal is this? The first time round I disagreed strongly, but this time I'm going to strongly agree, just like the lifeboat thing. Most women fail to appreciate fully all that men do for them. The first time round I strongly agreed with that, but now I'm going to disagree strongly because daytime TV and women's magazines are just full of programmes and articles heaping praise on men for all the bridges men have built, all the roads, the trains, everything men have done, like invent fucking practically everything, including all the computers and smartphones and stuff that women totally take for granted. Women fail to, of course they have no appreciation for men whatsoever. More you do for them, the more they fucking whine and want more. Nevertheless, I'm going to strongly disagree. Women seek to gain power by getting control over men. I strongly agreed with that the first time. I think all women shortlists in Parliament and quotas in Scandinavian countries where they have 40% of seats in the Parliament automatically set aside for women and 40% for men, and then they compete for the rest of them. And you can guarantee if feminists could take them all seats, and drive men out of politics altogether, they would. This is women just taking advantage of the cowardice of males in politics because they're terrified. This is why women should never have been given the right to vote, and I mean that, because when they're brainwashed from ear to ear by the man-hated media, and when they voted elections loads of women don't vote that way. In fact, actually, in fairness, Trump, didn't he get more women's votes than Hillary did, despite all the claims of sexism? So yeah, loads of women aren't like that, but it says here women seek to gain power. No, feminists seek to gain power by getting control over men, and they're winning because these cowardly males in politics, with a very few exceptions, they're terrified of the mainstream media, who they perceive as being able to garner the block right to vote of women. And if they so much as dare, such as Philip Davis MP, if you so much as dare as a male politician, as he has, to stand up for the rights of boys and men, he is automatically branded a misogynist, just the way I'm going to be branded by this article when I'm done with it, and despite the fact that I'm filling it in like a feminist. So women seek to gain power by getting control over men. Disagree strongly. I'm going to try and wrap this up now ASAP. Men are complete without women. How many times? Disagree strongly. Men need women. Women exaggerate problems they have at work. Well, despite the fact that I could have a field day with that, I'm going to disagree strongly. Yeah, and of course they're not perpetually going on and on and on and on about what martyrs they are in the home as well, and how men should help out more and more and more. So I'm making myself hoarse here. Once a woman gets a man to commit to her, she usually tries to put him on a tight leash. What, you mean like changing his friends and changing his habits and changing his clothes and telling him what's what? That never happens. No, I disagree strongly, like a good little feminist. When women lose to men in a fair competition, they typically complain about being discriminated against. Well, obviously I'm going to have to disagree with that. Anyway, which fair competitions would these be, I'm wondering? Would it be the competition where the man and the woman, I believe in the United States, if they go for a job, certainly not necessarily with a private company, maybe someone can help me out on this one because I can't remember the details on it, but I'm pretty sure that if you go for a job in the public sector, if you're a man and a woman and you have the same qualifications, the woman has to be given preference. I could be wrong about that, but nevertheless, all of these female-only quotas that we get for jobs in police forces and quotas in politics, etc. No, women complain about equality. They don't want fair competition. Certainly feminists don't. So, no, what's the question again? When women lose to men in a fair competition, they typically complain about being discriminated. Disagree strongly. A good woman should be set on a pedestal by her man. I disagreed with that strongly first time round, but as I've read so many articles in women's publications online saying the women should be treated like queens and princesses, I'm going to strongly agree. There are actually very few women who get a kick out of teasing men by seeming sexually available and then refusing male advances. Strongly agree. Now, there's no such thing as prick teasers whatsoever, guys. Women compared to men tend to have a superior moral sensibility. Well, I'm going to strongly agree with that, absolutely. In fact, I wish the question had been that just women are superior, full stop. So, yes, I'm going to strongly agree with that one. Men should be willing to sacrifice their own well-being. We've done this before. In order to provide financially for the women in their lives. Yeah, I think now it's possibly tens of millions of men, certainly countless millions of men now who are forced to provide for women who aren't even in their lives, who've stolen their houses and homes, and they expect money for the rest of their fucking lives. Nevertheless, I'm going to strongly agree. And obviously I filled it in, disagree strongly the first time. I'm trying to wrap this up as quickly as possible. Feminists are making entirely reasonable demands of men. Have we got a year to go over that? For fuck's sakes. Feminists are making entirely reasonable demands of men. And of course, first time disagree strongly, so strongly agree. Women, as compared to men, tend to have a more refined sense of culture and good taste. Well, of course, as I said before, women are just so fucking superior. Strongly agree. And here's my result. Getting there. Oh, that's not patronising. I'm getting there. You're less sexist than the average person. What do you mean, fucking person? Can't you put man? But there's room for improvement. I have no idea where that room is. Fuck this. See how you just can't win, guys? Thank you.